What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Well, today is my last day as a Massachusetts resident. It's freaking crazy, and it's starting to hit me a little bit. I've been saying my goodbyes to people and like my close friends, and I've had moments where I've gotten emotional. And to be honest with you, I kind of feel it coming on right now. But I'm pretty sentimental, so that's why this happens. I get a little emotional sometimes thinking about things like this and like with goodbyes and whatever. But yeah, I have a moment to myself because my parents are out right now, and I wanted to take a moment to document this. Yeah, I'm flying to Denver tomorrow. I'm starting a new life out there, and this feels different than my little excursion in the town next door from my parents' house because I'm a lot farther away and I'm completely on my own, which is exciting. It's really exciting for me. I'm excited to explore a new area, and I'm excited to start a new job. The thing that's cool is that in life there's no do-overs, and I don't think I'm gonna regret this. The alternative would have been remaining unemployed until the perfect job presented itself in front of me. And I couldn't just pass this up. I know it's difficult to get into work in tech. A friend of mine told me something, well, my best friend from high school. Shout out to you, Josh, if you're watching this. But he told me something a while ago and then somewhat recently again. Don't let good be the enemy of great, or something along those lines. And it's true because I couldn't pass up this opportunity to move to Colorado because I've learned so many things from my layoff, and one of those things was that no job is forever. No job is permanent. There's several reasons or things that can happen to force you out of that job, either through your own life circumstance or company laying you off or getting a better opportunity. But at least for me personally, throughout my years at my last company, I felt this inherent loyalty to them, which wasn't even rational because, a company is a company. Still, my long-term play with that company was to stay with them long enough to build up my skill set into what I wanted it to be without working on side projects or anything like that. And I was on my way there, but my time there was cut short, as we all know, and now I'm moving. But this goes beyond engineering because my goal is to not be an engineer when I retire. My goal is to work a job true to myself that is outside the box, that is just not in tech, like straight up. I want to be a wildlife photographer, a wildlife content creator, and I'm going to continue to grow this channel and just kind of see how it goes because I know the kind of videos that do well. And if I can make $100 just off of AdSense, I'll call that a W. If I can make $100 a month off of YouTube, that would be crazy. I know people have done it and have gone far beyond that because everything scales with time, and I'm sure I'll get there at some point too, as long as I continue to show up for you guys as my authentic self the best that I can. But yeah, I'm fucking moving. I'm moving. I'm sorry if I look away from the camera. Some people didn't like that in one of my more recent videos, but I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just really in my feels right now. I can't believe that I'm finally leaving Massachusetts. This is something I've always talked about wanting to do for the last, probably since 2021. I think 2021 was when I started to see YouTubers talking about leaving their hometown and the growth that comes with that, and how it's one of the best things that they ever did. And for me personally, I think back to the very first time I had a situation like this was when I graduated from grade school to go to high school, because I went to a high school that was very unique, and it was like no other high school in my area or even the country, because there's very few agricultural high schools left. So if you don't know, an agricultural high school is basically a trade school, but instead of focused on the trades, it's focusing on agricultural programs. So some examples of majors that you had at my high school were equine science for horses, but they also had different kinds of programs that were sort of under the agriculture umbrella, but not entirely. They had a vet tech program, they had a dog groomer program, they had environmental science, landscaping, natural resources, floriculture. I think that's it. But yeah, those are all like majors that you could take and study alongside with your generic academic requirements like math, science, social studies, whatever. My going to that school was huge at the time because I was in freaking grade school and I was really trying to go after what I wanted in life, which was animals at the time. And I guess still, just, that's evolved with time. And there's only two other girls from my grade school that were going to this school, one of which ended up transferring out pretty quickly. So it was just me and this one other girl. And I knew no one at this school. The school was 45 minutes away from where I lived. So that meant having to get up absurdly early every day and, to make the bus, which meant I had to get up super early every day just to make the bus freaking like quarter of 6, 6 o'clock. I forget the exact time that it would come, but like, earlier than I would have had to at freaking my town high school. So it was a big change, but that was like hands down the best thing I ever did. Going to that school, I made an entirely new social circle, and this was my first time actually making what I thought were genuine, real, awesome friends. Like those friendships were phenomenal. And even outside of my like close friends, everyone that was in my grade, I had a good relationship with, and we knew on a first name basis, and we were just generally cool with each other. And my class size for the first few years was like 130 people total. Before my senior year, there was a merger with a trade school, ironically, so the class size was bigger from that point on, but still, like, it was a really intimate setting, and that was like super fundamental for my social development because that helped me to become the person that I am now. Who knows if I would have had the confidence to start a YouTube channel, among other things, later in life. So I look back on that era of my life super fondly, and I look at my life circumstance now as being comparable to that. I'm about to jump feet first into the unknown, and there's like no guarantee about how things are going to go, right? Because my new job's a contract role. Like, worst case scenario, it doesn't convert to full time, or I just don't like the area and leave after a year. But in either case, it's not bad, and I want to experience living still within the US, but in a different state. So I'm literally shipping my entire freaking life out there, and which is gonna be interesting. I've gone back and forth over the last few years with like buying property, like putting out a down payment on some property. But even though that would be like the safe option, and I've had irrational thoughts about like being trapped in the workforce and like not being able to later in life due to financial reasons, everyone that I've ever looked up to online hasn't bought a house first, with the exception of one dude on Instagram. He went all in on real estate investing when he was still working in sales. I'll give him a shout out, even though my audience is drastically smaller than his. Brian Lubin, super cool dude. Never met him, but just I enjoy his content. He's the only one that's gone all in on real estate. Everybody else, it's been content creation. It's literally been content creation. I struggle with letting go of, I don't want to say like the guarantee of becoming wealthy, but as an engineer, I know that if I were to stick with that career path for my entire life, I will become wealthy. Like, I will become wealthy such that I'll be able to like take care of my loved ones and stuff, and eventually buy property. It's just gonna take my entire career because I'll be making above average, but not like ridiculous amount of money, considering like I know myself and my aspirations as an engineer, and it's a tough field to be in, but I know that I have a general idea of like where I'd end up with that. That being said, should I give up the field, there's no more guarantees, and there's no guarantee that I'm going to become wealthy. And there is a part of me that like wrestles with that because I want to be able to take care of my parents and sister financially, because I know it's basically up to me. Like, it's up to me to do it. And it feels like a really impossible mountain to climb, but especially doing it like this. But when I say like this, I mean through like content creation, but it's literally up to me. So I think that's the hardest thing to come to terms with, is like letting go of the guarantee of becoming wealthy. The next year is going to be very, very interesting because I'll be completely on my own. The time that I'm going to have to put into this channel and my content creation in general is going to be super finite. It's not going to be like it's been for the last like 9 months where I can just work on it like whenever I want and then just kind of fuck off and let myself get distracted. Like, I have to go balls to the wall. I'm about to enter a serious era of work. And I'm excited about that. I'm honestly excited about that because the one guarantee that I'm looking forward to is becoming totally debt free by this time next year. And that means that I'm not going to be able to travel and I'm going to have to put my head in the trenches. Well, that's a lie. I'm still going to one last trip at the beginning of next year. But aside from that, literally, like, I'm in the trenches. I'm going to be making content. I'm going to be working my day job so I can become debt free and save up enough money so that I could like live off of, and that's when go in all in on this channel. Because I recognize that going all in on social media is something that I'm gonna have to do, and I'm excited to do it. Like, it's not something that I can afford to put off for much longer, because all I've told myself is, like, oh, like, I'll do it eventually, I'll do it eventually, I'll do it eventually. Then I lost my job, and that really like threw me up into a tizzy. Like, that really changed a lot for me. So I know I'm gonna have to do it, and it's gonna be scary as shit, but I'm gonna do it anyway. But the only thing I'm gonna do prior is just making sure that I owe no one any money first. It's just me, myself, and I. Like, I don't even give a shit about having a girlfriend, honestly. Like, if it happens, it happens. But, I've really become super comfortable with myself as a person. So, like, I don't feel like, well, on one hand, like, I know there's definitely value to having a kid sooner than later, but I don't give a shit about waiting long enough to set up my life so that it's the way that I want, and then having kids. And hopefully maybe I'll meet someone along the way. I don't doubt that I will. I've dated a lot of cool girls this year. None of them in the US, but it is what it is. Yeah, I guess that's all I have for today, guys. I'm just kind of vlogging this for my own benefit. I don't really know if there's anything here for you guys, but yeah, I'm fucking leaving Mass tomorrow and I'm going to Denver. And it's gonna be quite the adventure. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna miss my friends, family, and that makes me in my feels a little bit, but I'm excited for everything else. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in Denver, Colorado. Let's go. I wanted to come on here and film like one last clip. Sorry for my indecency. But yeah, this is my fucking last night here in my parents' basement. And I mean, to be honest with you, I was kind of in my feels earlier. Like, I saw my grandparents, and yeah, I mean, that was really the one that kind of got me a little emotional on my way away from them. Like, after the fact, after I saw them on my drive home, I got a little sad and got a little emotional, but I saw some friends, and that was way more uplifting. And yeah, and then I just got dinner with my parents, and that was nice too. We just kind of talked about like the realities of things financially and whatnot, and yeah, it's it's fucking real. And at least for now, in this moment in time, as I'm recording this, I'm not like emotional sad. If anything, now I just feel more alive and excited about like what's to come. Cause like real life hits me after this. Like, I'm going back to work full time. It's gonna be way more of a challenge to fit the YouTube channel in. I'm just glad that I have a shit ton of content like banked up for you guys, even though it's like it's pretty far removed from the way I've lived the content, right? Like, you guys are probably gonna see like my safari video like months from now, and I still haven't even edited my series of vlogs from when I was in Chingaza National Park in Colombia. So like, that stuff you guys aren't gonna see for a while, but I'm just grateful that I'm happy to be doing this, man. I'm really happy to be doing this. It's crazy. And if you're watching this, I can't stress enough, like, thank you. I'm just a dude sharing his life online, and if it resonates, it resonates. But I'm just vlogging for just the journey. Like, I started this YouTube channel freaking 2 years ago, and with very low expectations on it doing well, to be honest. I've been treating it like a hobby, but the fact that, all it takes is one video to change things, and, I'm not freaking making any money from this yet, but it's a possibility. and I'm literally just being myself. So it's cool. And again, thank you guys. I'm looking forward to sharing more of my like upcoming new chapter in Colorado and outside of Denver. And there's a lot more to come. So stay tuned.